There is one really important metric that you should be aiming for and measuring or tracking yourself against for your business this year. And that is how many new clients you need. But I know sometimes trying to figure out how many new clients you need can be confusing. Hey there, I'm Stacey Brown Randall. I am the author of Generating Business Referrals Without Asking and host of the Roadmap to Grow Your Business podcast. I recently had a member within our Referrals Without Asking free community over on Facebook ask me, okay, I'm trying to figure out how many clients I need this year. Is there a formula for that? And of course, yes, there is. And I think the confusing part of trying to figure out where that number comes from, right? In this case, it's because I teach that that's a foundational number. The number of new clients you need is a foundational number that also drives you understanding what your referral explosion can ultimately look like this year. So before you can get to your referral explosion, like how many referrals you can actually get, we got to back it up. And we first have to determine, well, how many new clients do you need this year? And typically every year, though that number changes depending on your growth trajectory and your growth plans. So I want to reverse engineer and break down for you how I help people determine how many new clients they need this year. Like, how do we get to that number of new clients? So I'm going to walk you through a pretty simple strategy of exactly how you can do that. Okay, so for the purposes of this example, I'm going to just use some pretty generic numbers. You'll need to put your own numbers into this formula for it to make sense. And of course, in addition to this, there's some nuances that are going to go into this, which I'll break down for you once I show you how the basic formula works. Okay, so the first thing you need to determine is ultimately how much revenue do you want to make this year? This is how we reverse engineer to the number of new clients. We start with, well, how much money do you want to make? And I'm asking you for revenue. So that means it's the money you're going to bring in that's going to be able to pay not only for you to run your business, but pay yourself, pay your taxes, and please make a profit. All right, let's say for the sake of this example, we're going for $150,000 in revenue this year. Your number could be 50,000. Your number could be 500,000. It's irrelevant. You place in your number, but this is based on how much revenue you want to make this year. Okay, now we have to determine, do you have dollars coming in from repeat or reoccurring clients? Do you have clients that were on a retainer last year, right? And they're continuing on their retainer, or clients that you know come back every year, right? Those are considered repeat or reoccurring clients. You have to determine the percentage of those that are coming back this year that will already put you ahead in terms of the revenue you can receive. For this example, though, we're going to assume this is zero. You're starting brand new, fresh. You need brand new clients, all new clients to make your revenue this year. Of course, if you had repeat clients, you would really just, the way I do it is I just eliminate that number, that revenue number from the overall revenue number and work from there. All right, so let's say for this argument, we make $150,000 this year. We don't have any money coming in from repeat or reoccurring clients. We're starting fresh at the beginning of the year. Well, then the next question you ask yourself is, well, what's the average amount that a client spends with you? For this example, we're going to use $3,000, but yours could be $1,500. It could be $15,000. There's also a very good chance you have multiple averages that clients can spend with you. And I'll get to that in just a minute of how we handle this. But right now, we're just going for that like bare bones, broken down number, right? So you've figured out how much revenue you want to make. You've determined that you don't have any money coming in from repeat or reoccurring clients. And the average amount a new client will spend with you this year is $3,000. Well, then this is some pretty basic math to get you to the place to determine the number of new clients you need. You divide, obviously, right, 3,000 and 150,000. And this is going to bring you to 50 clients. I just had that moment of, what if my math is wrong? Well, if it is, don't anybody tell me. Let's just go with it. I got it right. Okay. So this means you need 50 new clients for the year if they're each spending $3,000 with you, which will get you to the revenue number you want to make of $150,000. That's how we reverse engineer into this formula. And you can do this every year. And of course, the more you do this, though, you'll get better at determining, okay, well, actually, I have a $12,000 offering and a $2,000 offering, right? So what do I do if that's my case? Okay. Let's talk about a couple of the nuances you really need to know if you're going to make this work specifically for you, because I want you to understand these nuances so you can put them into practice and you can use them to your advantage. Okay. What I've given you here is the number of new clients. Okay, this is the number of new clients. This is not telling you how many prospects you probably need to have conversations with or come into your prospecting funnel to get to the 50 that are going to say yes. So if you're trying to figure out how many prospects do I need to have in my pipeline or in my funnel, right? How many prospects do I need to talk to get to 50? Well, that's usually based on your closing ratio. So if you close 50% of the prospects you talk to into paying clients, well, then you need to talk to 100 prospects this year with a 50% close ratio to get 50 to say yes. And of course, these are round numbers and these are averages. Right? Maybe you get better your closing ratio. Well, then of course that number would increase. So keep in mind, this is not telling you how many prospects you need, but how many new clients you need and the number of people you need to talk to or actually have understand what your business is and have conversations with them, or they go through, right? In my case, they may buy my book and then decide to come into one of my programs, whatever it is, you need to have that number of folks coming in from a prospect perspective. And then based on your close ratio, that'll tell you exactly how many prospects you need to talk to get to your closing ratio number of new clients needed. Okay, that's nuance number one. Nuance number two is you might have different levels, as I've mentioned, of how clients work with you. So the amount you charge literally varies, right? So maybe one service you offer is $3,000, like we have here, and maybe another is $10,000. In this case, I actually run the scenario on both numbers. So I would take the $150,000 that you see with the average amount of $3,000, divide it out and know that I need 50 $3,000 clients. And then if I ran that for the $10,000 clients, I would take 150, right? Divide that out by $10,000, and that would get me to 15 clients. So because at that point, I just want to know what it takes to hit my revenue based on only my $3,000 clients or only my $10,000 clients. And there's a difference between 50 and 15, right? That's a pretty significant difference between 50 clients at 3,000 or 15 clients at 10,000. But I want to know what it's going to take to hit that revenue number with either service offering. And then I select the target, right? And so maybe I decide I need 30 clients at 3,000 and 6 clients at 10,000. And then those are the targets that I'm aiming to hit. Could I get there faster by bringing in more $10,000 clients throughout the year? Of course. But we're not trying to completely predict exactly what you do. We're trying to give you a metric to aim towards and work towards and that you're tracking against, okay? And so that may mix depending on what you're focusing on. And here's the third and final nuance. The third nuance is if you have multiple service offerings, right, then you're going to use a range that the client spends, or you can break down by each service offering. Okay. So while I have programs at different price points, right? Like I have like a mini course, like $37 to signature programs at $15,000 or $2,000, all the way up to a work with me option of $12,000. I only complete this exercise for my service offerings, right? For my main service offerings. So I may only look at this with my $12,000 option and my $2,000 or $1,500 option, but I won't complete this option for my smaller dollar amount products and services. So you just kind of have to depend on what this looks like. Are there different levels your clients work with you at, or do you have a different array of service offerings at different price points? And which of those are you actually going to use to complete this exercise? Because it's not about this is absolutely what you're going to do. I hope you blow past it, but you need something that you're measuring towards so you know if you're on track, and then you can tweak what you're doing to actually get in front of those prospects to get them to become clients. Because understanding what you're aiming for, right? It's like that old saying goes, what gets measured gets managed, right? So if we're measuring it, we're going to start managing it. And that is basically what this formula is all about. Okay, so that's just a quick and easy way to really look at how do I figure out how many new clients do I need this year, following that formula, kind of reverse engineering into it to figure out what does it look like for you and your business. Just insert your numbers and come up with the answer. Now, if you have questions, by all means, please feel free to comment on this video. I would be happy to answer them for you. And if you're in our Referrals Without Asking free Facebook group, you can certainly ask your question in there as well. All right. I hope that you have found this video helpful. I would love to know what you think. Share your numbers, share your questions, share your thoughts, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye for now.